What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another GTA 5 online video. So guys, in this video I'm going to give you guys a review on the Ruiner 2000. So this is a special vehicle that is actually in discount this week. You can get it on the Warstock site, and this week we have a 35% discount on it. So it's actually a good opportunity to get it if you don't have it yet. So in this video I'm going to give you guys a guide on how to actually use the car. I'm also going to tell you guys if it's actually worth buying in 2020 because it has been in the game for quite a while. It's part of the import-export update. The price is 4 mil regularly, so that's the trade price, and with the discount it's 2.8 mil. If you want to unlock the trade price, you will have to do the Ruiner 2000 mission that you can launch in your CEO office on your PC in your CEO office. So it's under the tab special missions, I think it's called. It's next to the vehicle warehouse and the special cargo. So you have like 3 options on your PC in your CEO office. So if you play that mission, then you actually unlock the trade price. It's not that long, so I would definitely recommend that you actually play that mission to unlock the trade price. Now the cool thing about this vehicle is that actually you store it in your garage in your vehicle warehouse. This is the first vehicle that I actually bought for this garage, so I was actually kind of happy that I get to use this garage. But this is also the only place where you can actually store this vehicle. So this is kind of a downside, you could say, because you cannot store it together with your other cars in a regular garage. But at the end, you're just going to request the vehicle anyway. But if you really like to switch your cars by going to your garage, then this could be a downside. A good thing about this car, though, is that the weapons and the other functions are already on it when you buy it, so you don't have to spend any more money on that. So the machine guns, the missiles, the homing missiles are already on it. Also the jump function and the parachute function already on it, so you don't have to buy that stuff. Now if you want to customize it, you can do it in Los Santos Customs. This is also the only place where you can do it. You cannot even do it in your Arena War workshop, because as I said, the only place where you can store the vehicle is actually in the underground garage. And if you want to modify it in your Arena War workshop, you also have to store it there, so that kind of doesn't work. Now if you want to modify it, there's one thing that I actually don't like about this car with the modification. It's the fact that you can actually not modify a lot of things. You of course have the regular stuff like the engine, the armor, the brakes and all of that, and of course the paint job and the wheels. But for example, the spoiler, no spoilers, no bumpers that you can modify, not even the hood you can modify, no skirts, not the roof. So those things, that's kind of a downside for me, because I like actually making the car a little bit personal, or else everyone is just driving around in the same car just with a different paint job. So that's kind of a downside for me. They could have added a little bit more things that you can actually modify about this car. For example, the lights, you can also maybe modify. It has cool lights, and maybe you can make it a little bit more personal. Also the hood, you can make a nice hood out of it, and also a spoiler would look nice, a small spoiler, and the skirts maybe. So that's a little bit of a downside for me. Of course the paint job and stuff like that, you can choose it yourself. I went for a little orange black combination, and I think it looks quite good, but with a spoiler and maybe with a different hood and all of that, it maybe would have looked nicer. Now keep in mind that this car is also a little bit old in the game, as I said, so you can't really compare it to the new special vehicles, because it's of course not as good, but it's still decent in my opinion. One thing that actually annoyed me is the amount of missiles. So over here I tested it, I counted it, and it's actually only 8 missiles. So for example with the Deluxo we have 20, with the Scramjet you have like 30, and 8 is just a little bit too little for me. Like 10 maybe, I don't know, or 20 is actually a good amount. It's the same amount that we have on the Oppressor Mark II as well, but 8 is just, yeah, I don't know guys, that was a little bit of a disappointment for me as well. The jump function you can just use by pressing L3, so that's the horn button, and then X on PS4 to actually open the parachute. Now in the city you won't use the parachute that much, because yeah, to use the parachute you actually have to jump from a high place to a lower place, and in the city you don't actually have that much. Over here I also tried to put it in my Arena War workshop because I wanted to change the headlights, but as I said, you cannot store it in there, so you can also not modify it. So over here I jumped off a bridge just to show you guys the parachute function. So when you jump, you can open the parachute by pressing X. X is the button that you use to actually run faster in GTA if you are on a different console. So in general, As I said, you can't really compare it to like the scramjet, and of course not the deluxo because the deluxo can fly, but it resembles the scramjet the most because it also has the jump function, but it's a little bit older, so of course the scramjet is better. Also the missiles are more, and it also doesn't have a boost, but yeah, it's decent. I would say it's decent. It's not bad. It's good. When it first came out, it was probably very good because it was the first of its kind. But right now, I don't know. Also, the price is a little bit pricey, guys. It has a couple of downsides that are actually very important. Over here, I also tested out how many missiles it could take for. But we know for cars, it's usually just one. And one thing that's very yeah, noticeable is that you can actually not call Morse Mutual. It actually just respawns in your underground garage. Another thing that I tested out is that you cannot request it with your mechanic. So this is also a thing. If you want to request it, you actually have to do it in your interaction menu. You cannot call your mechanic. So over here, you just go to your interaction menu, go to request special vehicle, just scroll down through the list to when you get Ruiner 2000. So you actually have all the special vehicles in this list, and only the ones that you have, of course, you can request. And then just press it. You can request it every 5 minutes, so that's just a regular waiting time. But as I said, it only has 8 missiles, so when you're out of missiles, and for example when the 5 minutes is not done yet, you have to wait a little bit of time, and yeah, that's kind of a downside on it. But you can still request it. So I actually first thought that I couldn't request it as well, but then I found out that you can actually request it in your interaction menu, so that was a big relief, because if you cannot request it with your mechanic or any way, then it's of course a very shit vehicle, and then you have to go to your warehouse every time. So as I said, just in general, in 2020 it's not as good anymore. The price is also a little bit pricey. If you don't have it yet and you would like to get it, if you have the spare money, then I actually recommend that you guys get it, because the special vehicles are always fun. But if you're kind of short on money, then I don't really recommend that you guys get this, especially if you already have a scramjet, because the scramjet also has the jump function, it has the boost, it also has the weapons. So over here I also tested the max speed with all the upgrades, of course. I think it's around 122 miles per hour. So something like that. That was it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also make sure to join my Discord server. Link is in the description. Peace out, you guys.